Previously, on Clayport for May 31st, 2025, Intrigue in the Moonlight. A gala of secrets. Crescent Hall's grand ballroom thrummed with fey enchantment, its balustrades curling like fossilized ivy, balconies draped in twilight's gossamer, and vast windows spilling starlight across a polished dance floor. Crystal chandeliers cast a fractured glow, yellow at their candle-lit hearts, splintering into blue, orange, and deep green, dim and ethereal. A secluded viewing gallery overlooked the throng, accessible only through an upstairs chamber. A quartet in a shadowed corner played a haunting melody. 2 violins, a cello, and an upright citern, strummed like a guitar, yet resonant as a lute, its notes weaving through the warm autumn air, alive with cricket hums outside and moths fluttering from the courtyard beyond. Tasked by the Archfey Corfus to steal Einhast's turning leaf and frame Viridius, Red prepared her party for the gala's dangers, wary of Einhast's ally, Genevile, a name more easily spoken than spelled. The invitation's fine print declared the house open and less restricted by the house herald, with debt-free eating and drinking confined to the ballroom. Red drilled her companions. No outside food, only magical or alchemical consumables permitted. Never carry ballroom fare elsewhere. Got it? She noted Eric's mutterings of "that's odd" at clues, dubbing her etiquette radar. That's rude, for breaches risking servitude. How about "that's lame"? Huh, Eric quipped, amusing himself as he swigged again from his flask. Lesser Fey donned and discarded titles like outfits, while Archfey bore theirs with unyielding permanence, a weight Red felt in Einhast's court. Above, in the viewing gallery, Einhast held court, her blood-red lips a crescent of menace, her pinned hair gleaming with a dangling bangle, her gown framed by a standing chair propping her in a semi-standing pose, easing the strain of her commanding presence. Beside her, Dion Shinken, dazed in stiff finery, bore her possessive pat. Her herald, Genevile, an imperious woman in yellow silk, her chain bearing keys and a folio, announced their arrival. Hello's muttered another himbo drew a stifled laugh from Red, who prayed to Lace, goddess of dreams, madness, and divination, her divining spell binding their fates to the Book of 3. Faces in the ballroom. The ballroom buzzed with gilded guests, most reveling in pageantry, but Eric's keen eyes marked schemers. "That's odd," he muttered, scanning the crowd. "Half these folks aren't here for the dance. They're here politicking." Red, distracted by a champagne tray, missed Arlo's notice of Bastion, captain of the Stone Legion, his slicked-back hair and silver cane marking him as a violinist who whispered to Einhast before mingling below. Umbra spotted Ambrose, a mustached man with strange eye markings flitting between conversations. Red caught his long gown, suggesting a professor at a Fey university, a lead for the Book of 3. His minimal school crest, like others' absent heraldry, contrasted her gauche brooch, a tool to frame Viridius. Eric also noticed a young woman flickering back and forth from grown woman to a 9-year-old girl in a nightdress. He pointed her out to the others. "She's dreaming," Red whispered, touched by Lace, wanting to sip champagne at a grown-up ball. "Okay," Eric muttered. Red fixed on a disheveled woman, her lopsided bun bearing a boater fascinator, its yellowed ribbon accented with pastel blue. Her garish blouse and cotton dress clashed with an unbuttoned cardigan, a basket holding yarn, a teacup poised but unsipped. Her black cat held court with guests, its shadow misshapen and larger than the cat or woman, bearing vicious claws, visible only to sharp eyes, Eric walked over to eavesdrop on Dentalia the Black, a seed in a black gown with a red beaded veil, hidden from Einhast's view, her admirers signaling political motives. Friotha, with dark auburn hair streaked white, clad in a blue and white gown with opals, approached, her eyes darting nervously. "You're here for Viridius, aren't you?" she whispered, voice trembling. Red leaned in, her choker amplifying her calm. "We serve her cause, Friotha. Trust us to see it through." Red's persuasion deepened the frame, convincing Friotha they shared her goal to steal the turning leaf, though her fear lingered. Umbra, seeking Ambrose, slipped off from the group to pass by the sitting room where Loh-Real, a dark-skinned, bald woman in armor and a kilt, accepted blood wine from a servant, healing his pricked finger. Umbra continued on to the outdoor garden. Red, linked by psychic messaging, rallied the others to a ballroom window overlooking the formal garden to watch Umbra venture. Umbra stepped into the garden and immediately noticed two large trees on either side start moving. "Two tree things are blocking me," Umbra reported through the link. "Big, barky, saying no guests allowed." Aloe identified them as arboreal wardens, and Red noted their lack of authority. "We can slip past them later, if need be," she murmured. Umbra stealthily made her way back inside, and they all went back to check out the sitting room where they found Loh-Real, present to talk politics, and shared a tip. "Stay here. Keep quiet," she said, sipping blood wine. Einhast's crew passed from the gallery to the dance soon. Her companion, Hetadai, a shadowed military subordinate, watched silently. Red pressed, "You recruit dream soldiers. Do they die for real?" Loh-Real shrugged. "Depends on the dream." "What?" Eric asked, baffled by the exchange. A magical surge-thon seemed to urge the party to drink forgotten champagne, but Red snapped, "Don't touch those glasses. Debts here'll cost us dear." She collected them, depositing them on a service tray. Eric was disappointed. "Oh, man." Loh-Real nodded. "Quick payment, like my healing trick, keeps the cost low," she said, gesturing to the servant's mended finger. The party then ascended to an upstairs chamber, its warped vistas hinting at fey magic, and passed through to the viewing gallery. Red asked a guard about Ambrose and the library. "He's there," the guard grunted, ushering them in. The library heist. The old library's towering shelves formed a labyrinth of ancient tomes, some of the leather spines etched with fey runes thrumming in the dim light of floating orbs. Dust motes danced in slanted beams, the air thick with parchment, old magic, and a metallic tang, as if spells lingered in the wood. It was also a messy place, books strung all over the floor. Umbra, searching with a courier's precision born of their secretive fetchling heritage, moved like a shadow, their enchanted leather armor whispering against the shelves. She disappeared behind a staircase, its serpentine banister curling. Ambrose, his professorial robes shimmering with arcane threads, eyes glinting, said, "Oh, hello," trying to hide his intent. Red, her choker amplifying her own ruse, told Ambrose, "I'm researching Laias, the dream goddess, recruiting his help in a fruitless search through the chaotic shelves." "Her lore's scattered. Know any good sources?" Ambrose, intrigued, replied, "The hall's library is better organized, you know. A good boon might even get you in." Red smiled. "Maybe I'll find one someday." Eric, not entirely sure what Red and Ambrose were going on about, followed Aloe's lead in searching the alcoves for the book. After about 20 minutes of searching, Umbra spotted the Book of Three behind a row of tomes. Umbra, wondering how to alert Red of the find, intentionally triggered Red's status spell alert by giving herself a paper cut. Red jumped. "Oh my, one of my acolytes needs me," she nervously and unconvincingly blurted out. Ambrose's eyes narrowed as he closed the book he had been examining. "I do believe you're lying," he snarled, initiating combat. He unleashed slashing papers, edges razor sharp, slicing Eric. "Ow, motherfucker!" Eric yelped, clutching his arm as blood seeped through his sleeve. Ambrose warded the door shut with arcane might. Red summoned Warvis, a leprechaun who turned invisible, his tails shifting. Maple 1 minute, Sycamore the next. "Get us a fake, Warvis," she hissed. As Eric and Aloe clashed with Ambrose's defenses, Warvis conjured a singed replica, sliding it into the alcove. Red shouted, "Stop! Let him have it." Ambrose, ensnared, calmly descended with a spell that softened his fall, his robes billowing like mist. He animated the replica's pages, fluttering like wings, seizing the fake in a swirl of arcane energy and sliding it into a bag. The door's barrier he had put up fell, and Ambrose vanished. Red purred, "Huh. I look forward to your library, Ambrose." Her confidence unshaken. Battered, the party tended their wounds. "Hold still, Eric," Aloe said, his battlefield healing, aided by Umbra's deft hands, soothing bruises, Umbra's enchanted gloves held in reserve. Red's psychic restoration mended minds, and herbal elixirs eased aches. They reshelved tomes, earning rare volumes on fey lore and dark secrets, plus scrolls of force and spectral weaponry. "Reshelving's our payment," Red noted, her etiquette sense satisfied. A dreamer's bargain. Red tried to dismiss the Book of Three with Warvis for safekeeping, but it remained. Odd. The library door creaked open, revealing the white-gowned woman, flickering back and forth into the 9-year-old girl. Her voice, neither childlike nor matching her older persona, intoned, "If you don't know what to do with it, give it to me." Umbra hesitated. "This feels off," they muttered. Eric and Aloe exchanged wary glances. Red's lore tied her to Lace. "She's a dreamer sent by the goddess," Red said. Umbra clutched the book. "It's got to reach its destined place, but her?" Aloe sensed her fade-touched essence. "She's legit, I think," he murmured. Red, guided by divine insight, decided, "Give it to her, Umbra. It's Lace's will." Umbra relented, and the book vanished from the girl's hands, her voice normalizing. As she left, sighing, "The library's so boring." As she walked away, 4 objects, glowing with magical runes, clattered to the floor. Gifts from Lice, maybe? It was hard to see exactly what they were. The air thrummed, crickets blending with the quartet's melody as the party stood in the library's shadow. The turning leaf unresolved, Lice's gifts on the floor, and Einast's gala weaving its next snare. With less than 4 hours until sunrise, they plotted their search for the turning leaf. This concludes Previously on Clayport for May 31st, 2025. Intrigue in the Moonlight